Buckle up, kiddos.
Can you hear me?
This is Isolation Mode Radio Hour.
Going on the air in 5, 4, 3, 2. Transmitting now.
Back by popular demand.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Hi, mateys. I see dry land.
Let's do it then!
Let's get nuts!
Dread it, run from it, destiny arrives all the same. And now it's here. Or should I say, I am.
This is me. This is how I win.
Hello everyone. Good to be back on the air. This is Isolation Mode Radio Hour. Let's see, March 28th, 2021, 10 p.m. I'm going to guess about somewhere in the 50 degrees Fahrenheit range, raining in New York City. What's the weather like where you're at? Today we're talking about parents, specifically parents of your lover, former lover. Doesn't necessarily have to be meet the parents. Could be like just weird stuff that happened during some interaction when you were at your girlfriend's house or your boyfriend's house or your partner's house. Gotta be some funny stories in the archives there. I know I have a few. I'll try to bust some of those out as the night goes on. But let's get things started. 862-801-5034. Lines are open now. Give us a call. Oh, I did forget to mention, pause the music here, forgot to mention, happy Passover to all our chosen friends and enemies, lovers, relatives. We had a delicious Passover dinner here. My roommate Hannah made some homemade matzah. There's some kind of weird apple cinnamon-y thing with a little bit of wine in it, apparently, which I didn't know about before, but I did have a little bit. I had non-alcoholic Manischewitz, of course. Shalom to you. Mazel tov. If you have any Passover stories, I will take those too. 862-801-5034. Thank you to the follow from Sad Reptilian. Hope you'll stick around for future streams. 862-801-5034. Let me know if the levels are okay. Thank you, Wow Queen, you are so beautiful, for the follow. Where are you tuning in from? I do have an email to read. I got kind of a psychotic email, which I love. I can read some of that if I don't get any calls in the next few minutes, just to kind of get things rolling. Pennsylvania, the state of brotherly love. Thank you, Queen. Thanks for the yeet beanpole. Not really what we're looking for right now, but I do appreciate the interaction. 862-801-5034. Give us a call. Alright, let me start reading this email for you guys. Okay, this email is from, I want to see how they signed it. It's Scotty. Email from Scotty. I don't know where they're calling from. Hey, my story is a whirlwind that amalgamates all the previous topics. Wow. Unfortunately, I won't be able to call in. It was cool to hear you and Matt talking. Not sure who Matt is. Maybe Beanpole, maybe Mystic Soul Potion, we don't know. I don't have a cell phone because I'm an Indigenous Canadian, and in the past with cell phones, I have had a lot of saboteurs and overall rough go at things ending with hardships endured that have left me avoiding that part of the communication. Happy to write you until my heart's content, though. Tell me to stop if it's maddening you, however. This is, if I printed this email out, it would be 6 pages, so I'm not going to read the whole thing, but let's see here. This is says something about Toronto suburbs, it looks like. Moving on to meet the parents. Okay, I'm going to skip the whole first part. I got to meet her mom first. This is from Scotty. I showed up to her house. After we'd been walking around one night, I had taken some mushrooms, so the night was really blurry. She invited me up into her bedroom. I think this is in high school. We had been alone in her bedroom. No one was home for at least an hour, just sitting, listening to Strawberry Alarm Clock on her CD. It was really cool. I'm going to read this verbatim. She had a massive vibrator sex toy sitting beside the stereo. I was so high on magic mushrooms, I didn't know what it was until I started to come down and started giggling and clued in on what it was. Ha ha, such a little shithead. That's when her mom's boyfriend came in from the balcony outside, like there was a back door staircase up into the apartment that entered into her bedroom. Also, where was I? Also her younger brother's room, I guess. Not sure. Anyways, so the guy comes in, says hello, and goes through into the apartment. Didn't get to meet him, but later on, her mom and brother come home. He starts slamming like a mini stick? Question mark. If you remember mini sticks? Question mark. They were these NHL branded toys for tykes to run around and practice slap shots with. The stuff was hilarious. You probably know what I'm talking about. Mini sticks. I don't. I do not know what that is. Not from Canada. Anyways, he keeps blasting the fucking ball into her closed bedroom door, and I just started getting really irritated during my come down and stormed out like, if he's not going to stop banging on the door, I have to leave. It was making my nerves tense. That's when her mom just saw me come out of the room and said, "Hi, how are you?" And I just got a second wind of mushrooms and had run out the door and blew right past her mom in a frantic fit and ran down the door and just stood on the street level of her apartment in the dark for a few minutes and kind of gathered my thoughts. That's when I left. So got to meet her mom and brother while high on mushrooms. Terrible first impression, right? There's more. If you guys, anyone wants to save me from the rest of this call, 862-801-5034. I'd rather hear from you than read this email to you guys. But since everyone's feeling shy, you probably won't like that. All right, let me try. I think I have someone to call here who has something to talk about. See if I can get him on the line. We'll come back to that email in a second, potentially.
Hello?
Hi, who's this?
This is Emma.
Emma, where are you calling from?
At Sunset Boulevard.
Sunset Boulevard. Let me lock in your information here. Emma on Sunset Boulevard. All right. So what's up? I got a message from you off the air about meeting your partner's parents. Can you tell us about that?
Are we live?
Oh yeah, we're live. Sorry.
Oh my God. Yeah. Man, me and Matt love him so much. You know, we've been together for, 3 years almost, or something, some change, sprinkled around it,
Okay.
And I haven't met his parents, never met his parents. They almost came to. We played a show. We were gonna play a show in the Bay. They were gonna come, but then they didn't, But I have met his grandparents, and sometimes that's more powerful.
Okay. So does it bother you haven't met his parents yet, or is that kind of a point of contention?
Oh man, let me tell you, I don't know. No, I guess not.
No big deal.
I could lose a million nights of sleep over it, but instead, I just feel like counting the flowers. You know what I'm saying?
Counting the flowers. So something in you, when you saw the prompt, made you mention this to me, though. Like, it's kind of crazy you haven't met his parents yet.
It's true. Well, you asked a specific question, which was, tell me about a time that you have met your partner's parents, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that your question?
Yeah. That's the theme
correct,
of the show.
Right?
Yeah. Yep.
And so I chose to answer you, and I felt compelled, like something compelled me to answer you with my truth.
Okay. What about your parents? Has Matt met your parents?
Yes. Yeah.
How did that go? Set that up for us.
Oh, okay. Well, one time I got hit by a pickup truck, and then we went down there, and they were there, and we were on our way down the coast down there. It was Oregon, so we were in the woods. No one should go to Oregon.
By the way, your callers don't know where you are, where this is. So can you set that up for all of us?
Yeah. So I was traveling, or me and Matthew Barry, we were moving to LA from Seattle. So,
okay.
Yeah. So the order of operations, got hit by a pickup truck. Then we went to Oregon, and then that's where my family lives. And so he met my family in those. Wait, he'd met them prior to that, I think. But that was our most recent rendezvous.
Okay.
And then we drove down to Los Angeles. And
nothing interesting happened though when the parents and Matt got involved, because I know he can be charming to a fault.
Oh yeah. There was something pretty remarkable that was a sight to behold, which was when my Matt and my dad were trying to shake hands or hug. They couldn't figure out which one to do.
Always
so
awkward.
They
Always awkward.
Went in for the handshake, maybe kind of hesitated, did a hand dance, then a hug. You don't know. It's that sometimes. Thank you so much. Sometimes you don't know. It's and there's this middle ground, and I think now post COVID, I mean everybody's going to be really feeling that. What do you do sometimes? You don't know if you should go in for a handshake or a hug, and sometimes you do neither because we live in a new world. So
Was this during COVID?
No, this is pre-COVID. So just imagine.
Oh, this is the first
now.
First meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So just imagine what could happen now.
I really can't even imagine. But I see I got another message I'm gonna call this person back, but I appreciate you taking my call. And what did you order, by the way?
It was a pleasure speaking to you. I got a lot of tacos.
What kind of tacos?
And some horchata. Just frijoles y queso and some calabacitas and something that's fucking spicy. And they were like, "Don't order this. It's gonna be so spicy." And I was like, "Sounds like a challenge." That was an excellent. I really set myself up for that, dude.
All right. Thanks for the call. All right. 862-801-5034. I'm going to try to get this person back. See if I can get him. Somebody from Nebraska. Not sure who this is, but they said they have a story for us. Okay.
Hi, how's it going?
Hi, good. Who's this?
My name is Reed. I'm from Nebraska.
Reed from Nebraska. How you doing tonight?
Yeah. I'm doing good. I came across your Ass and Up letters recently.
Okay.
And I enjoyed kind of the wit and banter.
Oh,
and I came to the live stream, and I figured why not help out.
Well, yeah, we'll see if you can help. Do you have any stories about meeting your parents, your girlfriend's parents or boyfriend's parents?
Yeah, when I was about 19 in Nebraska, I was very devoutly Lutheran, and so was my girlfriend at the time.
Right.
And I was the quarterback of the football team, and she got fourth place in the high jump at the state meet 2 years in a row.
Okay, I've got a couple of athletes.
Yeah, so it was a couple, young and limber folks.
Okay.
And but as soon as I met her parents, her dad started developing health issues, and she told me one time when they had gone to Mayo Clinic to get him checked out.
Yeah.
And it was my birthday, and she invited me over to her house, and since we were both Lutheran, she said we shouldn't have sex before we got married.
Right.
Naturally. But she told me if I was as good as Tim Tebow, she would have had sex with me probably already, which really upset me on my birthday.
Okay.
And later, when her parents came back from Mayo Clinic, we found out that her dad had a brain tumor that he needed to have operated on.
Okay.
And it turned out it needed to come right out. It couldn't stay a minute longer. And he still made me call and ask permission to take her to prom that year.
Okay, and this was your senior year of high school, you said?
Yeah, confirmed, senior year.
And you guys still haven't had sex, right?
No, we never consummated the relationship. The tumor came out. Her dad survived, and
you guys just haven't gotten married yet?
I went with it, you could say.
You haven't gotten married yet, though? That's what you're saying?
No, this is lovers of long ago.
I see. Well, I'm glad to hear the dad made it. I'm glad that you guys respected the... I guess I don't know if it's good that you respected the rules or not, but what else? What else can you tell us about it? Is that when you met? You met the night he went to Mayo Clinic?
Yeah, well, we met on the phone because I had to give him a phone call and ask.
Oh, I got it.
Gotcha, and ask permission to take her to the prom.
While
he said, "Yeah, you can, but you know what? She's got a lot of uncles, and she's got a bunch of cousins."
Is that like a threat or something?
She's got a brother who's like a drought horse.
What does that mean?
He's a big guy, and he can move a lot of weight around.
Meaning he's gonna punch your lights out, basically. Is that what you're trying to say?
He's gonna punch my lights out if I fool around. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, Reed. Well, thanks for the call, and have a great rest of your night. Thanks for sharing that story with us.
Keep up the good work, buddy. Keep fighting the good fight.
I'll see what I can do. All right. 862-801-5034. Give us a call. Tell us a story about when you met your partner's parents back in the day. Some tunes going for you guys. Thanks for the follow, 666 Horses, by the way. Let me replay that alert real quick. Where are you tuning in from? And do you have a story for us? 862-801-5034. I could go back to this email if you guys want. I didn't really screen it at all, but it could be interesting, I guess. 862-801-5034. As usual, I had a bunch of people lined up to call in. Said, "Oh yeah, I got a good one. Oh yeah, I got a good one." And then it comes to show time, and then it's just dead air. Like no one, everyone gets shy. So let's not do that. I know you have stories. Call in immediately. Call me immediately. Jacob Smith, thanks for tuning in. Why don't you give us a call? Tell us about when you met your partner's parents. Either a long ago lover, a current lover. We want to hear from you. Glad you're here to tune in. Please don't make me make cold calls, guys. There we go. Okay, thank God. Hello, you're on isolation mode.
Hey, how's it going? This is Matt from San Antonio.
Matt from San Antonio. Let me lock your info in here.
Right.
Go ahead. I'm all ears.
Okay. So I've been married for going on 7 years. And before that, my wife and I were dating. We'd known each other for a long time, but we only dated for like a couple years or so before we got engaged.
Giggity.
And we... What's that?
Oh, nothing. Go ahead.
So we met in Seattle, and the whole time that I knew her up there, and when we started dating, and even when we got engaged, I had never met her parents. And her parents are both down in Texas, which is where she's from. And so when we did get engaged, we decided to move down to Texas. The plan was Austin, but it ended up being San Antonio, her hometown.
So you had not met the parents, even
no.
through the engagement?
No. I'd heard a lot of stories about them. She would talk to them on the phone, like, pretty often.
Yeah.
And I even, on a couple occasions, talked to both her mom and her dad. They're divorced, and they've been for a while, so, and they don't live in the same city down here.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I guess I just kind of, it wasn't really a big issue for me that I hadn't met her parents or her family, you know, because I was like, I'm sure they're good people, and you know, you're the person that I'm marrying, and that's kind of all that matters to me, you know. But as it turns out, her family's all great. They've been very welcoming. So we moved down here, And let's see. Where am I going with this? I know where I'm going. I'm just like, how do I get there without making this too long of a story? All right. So okay, so we
go ahead.
We drive down. All right, we drive down from Seattle to San Antonio, and I meet her mom. And she's real nice, really sweet. Kind of like I expected her to be. But then we drove like 4 or 5 hours east to meet her dad, and her dad lives out in the woods, kind of near the Louisiana border. Like, he's almost like a hermit out there. He's, I was kind of imagining this sort of like Texas tough guy, like I never imagined that I'd ever live in Texas. I grew up in Washington and lived there my whole life, so I don't know. I just kind of had this idea of like what her dad might be like, and
which was what?
Different.
Describe that for us.
Well, I knew that he worked on the railroad, kind of born and raised and lived in Texas his whole life, and just kind of, Texas is a place where it kind of has this reputation. It's not like I was driving to Delaware and like had, or like Nebraska or something like that. I was like envisioning this kind of like southern, like Texan guy. I don't know.
Okay. So you pull up.
We pull up, and
if you could describe like a movie character, who would it be, or an actor? Someone like Sam. What's his name? Sam Elliott.
Not exactly. Mm-hmm. I hope my wife, if she's listening, won't take any offense to this. He's a really nice guy, but like she'll tell you too. Like he's like can be a little bit of a hothead. He's can be a little bit of like a curmudgeon. So he's like the kind of guy who he's like kind of burned a lot of bridges in his life, and there's kind of a reason why he lives out by himself all alone in the woods. I mean, he's got redeeming qualities, but he's not the easiest guy to get along with, and I kind of knew that going into it, so I was like bracing myself a little bit.
Gotcha.
But he was nice. Like he was welcoming. We went out there and stayed at his place for a few nights, and we hit it off fairly well, But the funny thing that came to mind about that first meeting when I saw your post today was like the activity that he had planned for us on that first day.
Which was
taking me out to a gun range to go shooting.
Right. Okay.
Which, like, I had never held a gun in my life. Not really a fan of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that too. So I was like, wow, this is like not really an activity that I ever really thought about doing, like desiring to do it or like expecting to do.
Yeah.
But I was like, I guess kind of like try anything once, like I guess I'll just go do it.
Yeah, try it for your wife to be. You guys were still engaged, right? You weren't married yet?
Yeah, we were still engaged. The wedding was like a couple months away.
Okay.
We got married down here. So I'm like, all right, okay. And then, so the plan was like for all three of us to go, me and my wife and her dad. And then at the last minute, she's like, oh, actually, I think I'm just going to kind of hang around here. Like, I'm kind of tired. I might just like take a nap. You guys go off and do it.
So just the two of you now are going to shoot guns.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
so
goes through your head?
God. I mean, really nothing more than just like that it might be kind of awkward, like
kind of weird.
And she would have been that buffer, And so I'm a little bit like really, like in my head, I'm like, like you're
did you say anything to your wife, your fiance?
I think probably like real quickly, like kind of pulled her aside and was like, hey, like, come on, like you're not gonna go.
Yeah.
And I think she was kind of like, maybe part of her was like, this will be good for you. Like,
part
you
of the
go,
plan.
Definitely. Yeah. And ultimately, it was kind of like a good, like bonding experience. Like I was a little intimidated, but it really was a decent time. And he like, he has a son, my wife's older brother, but he doesn't really get to see that often.
So you're kind of the new son.
And it was, yeah, and it was
like... You haven't really talked to your own parents since then, right? Is that kind of what happened? Or?
No, I haven't talked to my parents since then.
Yeah, exactly. So you kind of just got slotted in there, and now they're your parents too? Is that sort of like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I abandoned them. I was like, nope, sorry. I'm a Texas boy now.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, like, he was like kind of like teaching me how to like do this thing, and it was like, I've never shot a gun since, and I might never again in my life, but it was like kind of like, I don't know if fun is the right word, but it was definitely like, it was an experience, and he was kind of like, we did bond a little bit because he kind of had to show me how to do it, and like, we got to talk a little bit, and then we came back home and back to his place, and had a good rest of the little trip there, and yeah.
Right on.
So,
I'm getting some stuff from the chat here. It says someone called Lil Sis Bish says, LOL, got him good. You shoot guns every night. Never heard of Fortnite. Seems like there's been some habits have developed from that, but yeah. All right, well, thanks for the call, Matt. I'm going to move on to our next caller.
Okay.
Thanks for the story. Talk to you soon.
All right, see ya.
All right, bye. Thank you to Matt in San Antonio. I have never shot... That's not true. I have shot a gun in my life. Actually, I think Data Lunch, who's in the chat right now, was there when I saw it, when I shot my first gun, so he might have something to say about that. Give us a call, 862-801-5034. I got time for one more call before I go to break. And I will tell my story of some drama that went down with me and my high school girlfriends. Her mom and dad. Her mom. But only if I get another call. You gotta call him before the break. 862-801-5034. Isolation mode.
Hey, this is Summer from Kentucky. Or Summy, I guess, is what I'm more so known as.
On this show, we call you Summy in Kentucky.
Yes.
All right, what's going on, Summy?
Okay, so I just had a funny, weird story. It's not really about meeting someone's parents so much as just like a really embarrassing thing that happened with an ex's grandparents specifically.
Okay.
Is that allowable?
Well, we'll see how it goes.
Okay. So, an ex of mine, I never really hung out with his, like, grandparents much, except for on holidays. So I didn't really know them or have much of a bond with them.
Okay.
So anyway, his grandfather was, like, a pretty dry kind of person, like very oddly serious about antiques and seemingly not much else. Just like a kind of a weird person, to be honest. And so it's I'll paint the scene. It's Christmas, and we're going over there, and we are actually snacking on circus peanuts. I say this because I like jokingly molded a circus peanut into a penis with balls just to like be funny. We were like I think throwing them back and forth at each other and snacking on these circus peanuts. And I say this because somehow the circus peanut that I molded into a Dick and Balls, somehow this ends up in his grandparents' gift bag, okay? And I don't know if it was thrown in there or if he thought it would be funny to put it in there, like, but I mean, I never would have thought about it. And hours later, you know, we've all eaten, we're all opening gifts, and his grandpa is pulling all the stuff out of his bag, and at the bottom of his bag, he pulled out this freaking circus peanut in front of their whole family, and he's like, "What is this?" And my boyfriend at that time looked at me. Everybody's laughing and like, "What is that?" And like, my boyfriend at the time looks at me and I'm just like, "Oh, I don't know." Like, and like, they all figured it out by him looking at me really funny that it was me who did that, even though I never ever in my life would have gifted that to him. Like, it was so incredibly awkward. And they all made me feel super dumb and weird. And I was just, like, mortified. I can't believe that fucking circus peanut ended up in that bag. And it even came back to haunt me later because, believe it or not, the next Christmas, we're all together exchanging gifts. And I got a few different gifts. And one of them was in, like, this small jewelry box. And I was like, oh, my God, what is this about to be? And they re-gifted me that fucking circus peanut. And
it sounds like it's kind of all in good fun.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely was. But it was incredibly embarrassing and awkward just because they didn't know me well. I didn't know them well. And it was just kind of like, what are these people thinking of me, knowing that this is what I've done in some spare time? Like,
definitely.
So yeah, somewhere I might still have it. I'm not gonna go search for it though.
Did you drive home with your boyfriend? Is it your boyfriend's the one who planted it, you think, or?
I wonder, like, thinking back on it, I do kind of think he put that in that bag. But also at the same time, I think he was pretty embarrassed by it too. Like, I don't think we intended at all, or he intended at all, for it to be in that bag, like, originally. Like, it's insane to me that somehow that stupid thing ended up in his gift bag. Like, I'll never understand or forgive myself for even creating it out of boredom or just to, like, get a laugh out of somebody.
There's nothing wrong with getting a laugh out of, you know, some circus peanuts and balls kind of situation. But, like, I'm just, if I was going home that night with my boyfriend, we'd kind of get in the car and you were just like,
I want to kill some bitches.
Or was it more something like that? Or? Anyway.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks for the call, Summy in Kentucky. And,
yep. Thanks for having me.
All right. We'll talk to you soon.
See you later.
Bye. That was Summy in Kentucky. One of our stable callers. I did miss one more call, which I'll try to get to right now before I go to break. Let's see if we can get him on the air.
Hi.
Hi, who's this, please?
It's Chandra.
Chandra, where
I mean,
are you?
no. Oh, damn, it's fine.
Oh.
I didn't want to give my real name.
Which name would you like to go under?
It's actually Pony Boy. Nobody heard me say that. Yeah, in Niagara Falls.
Niagara Falls. I got your info locked in here. What is going on?
Nothing. I was gonna call earlier, but I was cooking. But I have a story.
Okay, I'm all ears.
Okay, so this is actually meeting my ex's parents after we already broke up. But it's specifically his mom, but it's still kind of in the realm of the genre.
Sure. So you had broken up, and then you were meeting his mom. His mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was with my friend in Calgary, and we decided to drive to Vancouver. I lived in Vancouver, but I was hanging out in Calgary, and then we thought it would be a fun trip.
Okay.
Instead of me flying.
Sure.
And she didn't want to do the trip in one night. And so my ex and I missed each other. We were like still talking sometimes. And I thought it was like a great excuse to get to visit him. And also he lives in Summerland, which is really, really beautiful in the summertime. So we decided to take a detour, and he actually was living in his parents' basement.
Okay.
So we decided to take a detour and go to Summerland and stay at his parents' house. So, yeah.
So you hadn't met her yet, though?
No, I never met her. I heard her yelling a lot in the background when we would talk on the phone.
Okay.
So I was like familiar with the vibes, because she's like she's quite she has like mental health stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah, she's bipolar. But yeah, so, and I think his like mom had told him to tell me to his mom had told him to tell me that she said hi a bunch. So we had that kind of
So she had said hi to you.
Yeah, we never spoke on. Oh wait, no, actually, if I called, she probably picked up. He lived in his parents' basement for quite a while. So, anyways, we ended up crashing there, and we got in pretty late, so I didn't meet his parents. And then in the morning, because he lived in the basement, so they were upstairs and sleeping. And then in the morning, I can't remember why I had to go upstairs. I was like a little bit, like I didn't really want to meet them that bad, because I was kind of embarrassed to meet them after we broke up. Mm-hmm. But I think I had to go upstairs for something by myself, and I walked in to the room where she was standing, and she was really, really excited to meet me. She was like very trippy, and she's like this really, really tiny woman who was really short with short hair, and she's like a bit older, like in her 50s or 60s. And yeah, like I mentioned, she's bipolar, so it was kind of a trippy conversation. Like she immediately like stopped me in my tracks, and she was like, I just want you to know that you saved my son's life. And I was like, thank you, like I'm glad I could do that.
Okay.
And she was like, then she started asking me a bit about myself, because she heard I had health issues, and she's also a hardcore Christian Scientist. And I was like, yeah, I have health issues, but I'm just kind of like figuring it out with doctors. And then she started telling me that I just needed to pray to Jesus more, and that the spirit of Jesus would enter my body. And then she started teaching me some things about Christian Science. It was like very emphatically, though.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like annoying or anything. I'm not really like bothered by Jesus talk, because I didn't grow up around it. But yeah, she was just very excited and happy to meet me, and really wanted me to abandon Western medicine and go for prayer instead.
So what was your reaction to that? It was fine though, or was there something?
Yeah, I didn't mind at all. Like he was really trippy too, and like I knew that she came from somewhere, and I had already heard her yelling in the background, so I kind of anticipated like having a abnormal exchange.
And did you end up rekindling things with this boyfriend at the time, or?
Sorry?
Did you end up rekindling with the basement boyfriend, or not?
No. I think we just like talk on the phone sometimes.
I see.
Yeah, it's like just we just ended up being like friends.
Yeah.
Forever.
I'm definitely.
Yeah. I mean,
getting...
like.
Go ahead.
He wants to get married, but I'm not interested.
No. I'm noticing a bit of a theme of parents of your partner being a little religious and overprotective, and I actually have some words to share about that after the break, so I'll wait until then. But thanks for the call, Pony Boy.
Thanks for having me.
Anytime. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great night.
Okay, bye.
All right. That was Pony Boy in Niagara Falls. Gonna play a little track and tell you my story, which involves. I'm actually gonna switch gears and tell you a story of my first stint in New York. I had a girlfriend who still lives here, as far as I know. Elizabeth, if you're listening, we'll talk. But I will tell you a story involving her and her family. Not her parents, actually. It was a brother. But more on that after the break. I will be right back. Okay, 862-801-5034. Let's see if I can remember how this went. Yeah, so 10 years ago, I'm in New York City on my first go-around. And I had moved here to be with Elizabeth, who I'm sure is not listening to this. She's got me blocked on all social media, so I doubt anyone who is listening to this will tell her I mean, she was there. She knows the story. But anyway, we were having relations at the time, and her family was very, very religious as well. Very conservative. Not even conservative, but just religious. Came from kind of a evangelist-y kind of background in the Midwest, and I just remember that her brother came out to visit, and she was very close with her brother, and Elizabeth lived in a very small apartment, like many of us do in New York. And this was around the time the first iPhone came out, so I was showing it off to everybody around, like, check out my new iPhone, it's so cool. And Joel was his name. Joel came out, and he was kind of a tech guy. He was easily impressed by the gadgets and stuff, and he was looking at I was like, check out my new iPhone. I showed it to him, and we were like in Elizabeth's apartment, and it was kind of our first time meeting, so I was trying to make a good impression. But at the time, there was this app that was kind of hot that, like, I think it did a couple things. It, like, tracked, like, if you're a woman, like, it tracked your period or something like that, like, so you could kind of be careful about, like, when you want to have sex, to be careful of, like, getting pregnant, that kind of thing. And it also, the same app had, like, kind of a Kama Sutra like list of positions, like, try this, try that. Like, we were kids, we didn't know what we were doing, we were just trying stuff out. So yeah, like, I totally forgot that was on my phone. Like, I gave him the phone to look at it, and, like, as soon as he gave it back, I was like, the thoughts just came rushing in my head. I was like, oh god, I hope he didn't look at that app. But, like, I could tell the vibe just immediately changed, and, like, I kind of pulled Elizabeth aside. Like, I was like, dude, I think he saw the app. And sure enough, like, I think later that weekend, I, like, I don't know if I heard him, like, or saw some text screenshots of, like, him saying stuff like, that's my freaking baby sister, like, all this stuff. And it was like, yeah, it was bad. Definitely did not. I don't think we never recovered from that, me and her. So yeah, there was no nudes, nothing like that. But it could have been worse. But still not great. I do have a story to read from one of our callers who wrote me a message, so I'll read that off now. This is from Junior Burger from Australia. Okay. It says here, so this was my last partner before my current partner. So the hate, I'm going to read this verbatim. So the hate was always there from the beginning, before we had even made things official. He had told me that his mom was not a fan of Asians, but he was willing to do whatever it takes to slowly introduce me into the mix. So after a couple months, he started dropping bombs on her and letting her know that someone was in the picture, and yes, she is Asian. This is when the new World War began. She immediately lost her shit and was not having a bar of her son dating an Asian. Is that a Australian term? Not having a bar? She was ripping into him, disowning him immediately. She was also saying if we got married, she would not be attending the wedding. I, of course, felt bad for the guy, but I was still going to stand by him. The next time there was another blow-up, he came to pick me up from work. She rang him, probably knowing that he was coming to see me, and once again lost her shit. Mind you, I have not even met this lady yet. I could hear her screaming through the phone, telling him to come home now, or he's going to get booted from the family home. Anyways, at this point, I was just like, this is fucked. This woman is major drama queen, and I don't know how I'm going to put up with this mother-in-law from hell. So a few months go by, and his sister's wedding was coming up, and I was invited. I suggested to my partner at the time that I should probably meet the parents before the wedding, because I didn't want the wedding to be the first time we met. My partner kept ignoring the idea, and I was like, okay, fine, whatever. Wedding day comes, and I meet her, and we're good, but after the wedding, My fucking partner decides to ghost me and I never saw him again. So fuck him and fuck his mom. Never saw him again after the wedding. He did his mom a favor, probably why she was so nice to me at the wedding. There's more, but I can't think of it. I tried to block it out. He was a bad fucking memory. It's going to be an absolute no-go for me. Sorry that happened to you, Junior Burger. Appreciate you telling your story with us. And with that, I'm going to open the lines up again. 862-801-5034. More stories of meeting your parents, meeting the family, any interesting experiences you had along those lines. I just got an alert on my phone saying washed item reminder. Men's size 13 K2 soft boot rollerblades inline skates. Ending soon. Trying to get some rollerblades for the summer. But not sure if I feel comfortable bidding on them without trying them on first. 862-801-5034. We're going to go for another 15-20 minutes. Here we go. Isolation mode.
Hey.
Hi, who's this?
This is Andy.
Andy from where?
From the Yukon.
Andy from the Yukon. Let me lock in your information here.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. So I have a story that's not. I have two.
Okay.
Two little ones.
We'll start with one.
Okay. So one of the stories is I was on a trip. I'm not going to say what kind of trip it was because I don't want you to hang up.
Okay.
But I was on a trip that had musical performances. It was sort of a strange occurrence. I'm not sure if you know about those.
I'm not really familiar with that. But go ahead. Go on.
Okay, so it was me, my best friend, and my best friend's partner. And they had been together for 5 years.
Oh, okay.
And like more than 5 years. They were really serious. It was like they've been dating for a while. Yeah. And on the way to like the first city that we were going to, the drive was really long, so halfway there we were going to stay at his partner, who was also with us, parents' house.
Yeah.
And they had never, like my best friend, let's just say his name was Dominic. Dominic had never met his partner's parents. And so the whole drive there for like 6 hours, it was like, wow, I can't wait to meet your parents. It's like so crazy. And like, you know, I've heard so much about them.
Can we give a name for Dominic's partner too, so we can kind of?
We'll call him Niles.
Niles?
Yes.
Okay. So what was Niles saying this whole time?
Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. And so I was like, whatever, this will be kind of sweet because like I don't really like hanging out with people's parents anyway, and so I thought, you know, it'll be nice because they'll have lots to talk about, and I'll just be the other person here.
Right.
And then we get there, like my best friend, I didn't even think anything of it. I was like, yeah, it's a big thing for them. We get there, we get to the door, his parents answer, and they're like, Niall, so great to see you. You know, I haven't seen you in so long. Give him a kiss. And then they kind of like say hi to my friend Dominic, like just like, hello there. And then they go, hello to me. And then they kind of like let us in.
Okay, so you and Dominic get the same level of warmth. That's what you're saying.
Same level. Like it was so weird, and I was like, huh. And then Dominic starts to kind of like, you know, oh my God, I can't believe I'm meeting you. And they look really kind of confused.
Okay.
Like not confused, but like they're kind of like, yeah, sure.
Right.
Like, nice to meet you too. But it was like, it starts to feel, you know, like I remember it being like registering really slow, because it never even occurred to me
that anything else was going to happen other than like this big meeting.
Yeah. So
So
what
it's
was,
like
what was going on?
Well, it was just like very anticlimactic, and they almost seemed like disinterested.
In you guys.
And then, yeah, in both of us. And then, like, I could sort of see Dominic, like, getting, like, he's a pretty outgoing person, and he was, like, getting more reserved, like, more, like, just sad. And I was, like, looking around at one point, you know, and Niall's parents are, like, showing Niall something they've been working on and asking Niall a ton of questions. And then they asked me a bunch of questions, and I was like, yeah, sure, but like very confused. And then I was like, once it probably took like 20 minutes, but I was like, holy shit, they don't know.
They don't know that Dominic and Niles
who
are dating.
Dominic is.
Right.
No, they have no idea. They don't know, like, at all.
Okay, so what
But it
happened
was
next?
so weird because we'd driven there and talked about it the whole way.
Yeah, plenty of opportunities for Niles to tell Dominic.
To just say, like, hey, I didn't, you know, I haven't told my parents, or...
And was this...
Yeah, I didn't...
Do you know what was behind that decision at all yet? Or?
No. No. And so the whole time we're there, finally, like, Dominic takes me aside and is like, Niall's parents don't know me.
Right.
Like, they've never heard of me. And I was like, it was shocking because they had dated for 5+ years. And I was like, no, what? They're just weird. And then it started, I was like, no, they've, you know, like, as we stayed there for maybe like 1 or 2 nights. I think, no, 1 night. I was like, they don't know. And Niles is doing nothing.
Wow.
To like introduce him at all.
Okay, so I'm already like, I want to know what happened the day after you guys left. Was it just...
Oh, they broke up.
They broke up because of that?
Not because of that, but I think it was like the icing on the cake.
Yeah, I mean, 5 years.
There was like other things, but it was like pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's insane.
Like, I was like, because it felt like we were there forever.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you going to tell them? Like, and, you know, at that point, Dominic's like, no, there's no point. Like, this is completely, like, so humiliating.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
and really weird.
Getting some comments from the chat here. It says, Niles was just going along with it on the way there? Dang.
Yeah.
5 years.
5 years.
Large Mabel
crazy.
says, holy F.
Yeah.
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 That would do it for me, too.
It was really weird. It was weird because it was a slow burn, you know? Like, I was like, oh, these people are just super unfriendly. But then when they were friendly to me, I was like, no, I'm getting, like, a friendly vibe. I'm just not getting that, like, excited parents meeting someone they've heard a lot about.
Right. Wow. And then,
It was
so did
fucking
you
weird.
continue this little trip you were on for some time after?
Yeah, for 2 months.
2 months?
And yeah, and they broke up about 1 or 2 weeks in.
That is fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
Anything to tell about the rest of the trip that is interesting?
I
or
mean,
just bad vibes.
There was like crazy stuff, but that one was the one with the parents.
Right. Okay.
And then
we don't want to hear about the rest of the trip.
No, it's not important. But I'll tell one more little one.
Okay.
If that's okay. If there's
Okay.
time.
We'll see. Go ahead.
Okay. I'll be quick. Okay, so the person that I'm dating now, his name is Michelangelo.
Okay.
And when I met Michelangelo's stepmom, she's British. And we were having dinner, and she looked at me and she said, "Huh, are you left-handed?" And I was like, "No, I'm right-handed." She's like, "That's so peculiar." I can't do a British accent. She's like, "It's so peculiar because you eat with your fork with the wrong hand." And I was like, "Okay, is there like a proper?" You know, British people are kind of weird about that stuff.
British people are I should have stopped you when you said British people are a little weird. Just right there. But yeah. Okay.
And then, just 2 more anecdotes from this dinner.
So wait.
And
So
then,
were you using your fork with the right hand or the left hand?
I don't know. It was like who knows that stuff?
Yeah. I mean, I'm
I've
thinking
never
about it
noticed.
now. Like if I'm cutting a steak, I'm using my right hand for the fork. No, the knife. Stab with the left hand.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I was nervous. I don't know.
Okay. Anyway.
Okay, so the second time I went for dinner there, she asked the same thing. The exact verbatim.
How many months?
We had the same conversation. I don't know.
Many months or weeks?
Michelangelo's not. Probably a few months, but still, it's like a weird thing to bring up. And then after dinner, she said, and this is kind of the controversial part, she's sort of like a tea merchant. So she sells tea. And she was like, oh, anyone want a cup of tea? And everyone said no, and I was trying to be polite, so I was like, I'll have a cup of tea. And she's like, well, what kind of tea do you want? Because, she sells tea. She has every flavor. And I said, I like anything but licorice. Like, I just really don't like licorice tea. But anything else. Okay. And then she came back out with a pitcher of licorice tea.
What the fuck?
And put it down. Felt crazy. Because I was like, did
she did you misspeak or something? Or
no, I don't know.
Miscommunication error?
Nope.
So she did it on purpose?
Yeah, she's crazy. Crazy person.
What'd you do?
I had to have a glass of licorice tea. It was crazy. It was like very quiet and awkward. Like, I wasn't the only person that noticed, It was like everyone at the table was like, I don't remember. I think Michelangelo was just looking at each other because they're just like, it's like no one. Oh, I have one more. All
right, last one. Let's go.
This is a step. Okay, so I went to a wedding once.
Yeah.
And it was like a kind of a punk wedding, like people were really.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
Like, it wasn't formal. Not punk, but it was just like wasn't formal, and everyone was, just wearing their regular clothes or whatever. But the families were formal, and it was a big deal for them.
Okay.
And there were speeches that people had prepared that were really like sentimental or, like really honest and earnest kind of speeches.
Yeah.
And everyone who was friends with the groom knew about the stepmother because she was just like stepmother from hell.
This is still Michelangelo's?
No, this is a whole different, but it was amazing.
Okay.
And so everyone did all these speeches and stuff, and then as the stepmom did her speech, she started doing her speech, the groom's best friend started yelling, heckling, "You're the stepmom. You're just the stepmom."
Yeah.
Like, over top of her speech.
Oh my God.
Completely ruining the speech. Wow. That she was a stepmom.
Was she trying to be
No, it was she was trying to be like, she's trying to be like, I was always there for you, and I always loved you, stepmom's kind of vibe. But anyway, those are sorry that I had a lot.
That's okay.
But I don't like hanging out with people's parents at all.
Okay. Well, if you sound a lot like somebody who I've talked to in the past who hung out with my father, actually. But
oh yes, I got a music lesson from your father.
How did that go? I think some of the people in this chat might know. Tim Anderson.
Flute lesson. Well, I never stayed with it because it's a hard instrument, but it was really nice.
Okay.
And your dad's very good musician.
Fair enough.
Runs in the family.
Okay, let's cut you off the air. I'm gonna cut you off the air there. Okay, thanks for calling
in.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, Andy. I do have some step parents from hell stories to talk about, including they're not married, but Tim Anderson himself is dealing with a horrible woman who is sort of the bane of my existence, but we'll leave that for another night. 862-801-5034.
Smoke weed every day.
Let's see what's in the chat here. What's wrong with licorice? I would also not fuck with licorice. Stepfams and hell go hand in hand. Yep. Let's see here.
DJ.
Oh. Thank you for the resub, Gen Z. Appreciate that. We also got a follow. Thank you, Runts Lol. The follow. Where are you tuning in from? Anything to say on this topic? Caleb Richardson says, "Ah, come on. What are you talking about? What is that in reference to?" If you want to respond to somebody else who called in, please call in. Painless. Oh, here we go. Isolation mode. Hello? Hello? Try to call him back, as I was bugging him to call earlier. I missed a couple calls here.
DJ. Oh shit, hang on.
See,
Hello?
No, one of the rules that you cannot have the stream open while you're calling into the show. So that's going to be an immediate fucking no-go. 862-801-5034. If you're trying to get in, now's your chance. I'm going to try and call this person back. Give that other caller a second to collect themselves.
Hello?
Hey, you're on isolation mode.
Oh, what's up?
Hi, who's this?
This is Alan from Seattle.
Alan from Seattle, what's going on, man?
Oh, just chilling. I have a quick one for you.
All right, go ahead.
So my very first girlfriend in junior high, like first, her mom was very odd and really, really she was very excited for her daughter to have a boyfriend, like in like weird levels.
Okay.
And would always like make sure to give us, like, we were really young. We're talking like 13 or something.
Okay.
And she'd like make sure to like give us alone time and like tell us we were getting alone time. And be like, you guys just go. You guys can go to my room. You guys go whatever.
Yeah.
And didn't last long. I ended up breaking up with her out of normal young person reasons I don't really remember. And
okay.
What were you gonna say?
What?
Did you? Oh, I thought you were chiming in.
No. Please continue.
Okay. So I break up with her, and the day I break up with her, her mom calls me, like begging me to get back together with her, saying that, like, I was such a nice guy, and she didn't understand why I didn't like her daughter, and was being like really like hard on her daughter.
Okay.
Like, what did she do wrong, and like, what does she need to do to like get the relationship back on track? And I was like, nothing, and I got really freaked out. And I remember I was driving in the car with my mom, and my mom was just like, "Just hang up," and it was very, very uncomfortable. And
So
that's it.
Did you hang up?
Oh yeah, I was like, "Oh, I gotta go. Like, I'm 13." Like, okay, sorry.
Yeah, I've heard a few. I have heard a few stories like that. Actually, one of our other callers has a story with me. I'll see if I can get him on, but you've jogged my memory a little bit, Alan. So thanks. I appreciate the call.
Sweet.
And I hope you're feeling well. And
thank you.
We'll speak to you soon, okay?
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
That would do it for me. Let's see if we can get this other caller back on the air. They've gotten their act together. Hold on a second.
Hey.
Hi, you're in isolation mode.
What's up?
Who's this, please?
This is Mabel in Chicago.
Mabel in Chicago. What is going on?
I have like a kind of a dramatic story, and I'm gonna try to retell it. But if I do a bad job, go ahead and boot me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know the drill.
We'll see what we can do.
All right. So I've told stories about this ex before, because I have a lot of stories, because it was a very colorful time in my life. I was 17.
Hold on, before you start.
Uh-huh.
I just got a notification on Twitch that we're very close to a hype train, which means that if one more person subscribes, something crazy is gonna happen. Okay, continue.
That's crazy.
Continue. You were
so weird.
17 years old.
I'm 17 years old,
Yeah.
and it's weird. It's kind of weird.
Right.
Anyway, me and this boyfriend, we were kind of, I guess, into doing crime together.
Okay.
Which is a weird thing to say.
Couple of
Past
badasses.
life, you know. Couple of badasses.
Right.
I had a car, so I was always the getaway driver.
What kind of crimes are we talking about here?
I want to kill some bitches.
Okay, serious crimes. Jeez. All right.
Pretty serious. No,
Okay.
nothing like that. It was like, you know, mostly just shoplifting, just stealing stuff in general.
Right.
I kind of got roped into it. You know, I was a young, innocent kid with a mushy brain, and he was older than me and convinced me to do stuff. You know, it's
Okay.
one of those situations.
Been in a few
It's
of those
not
myself.
good. It's not healthy, but, you know, there's some stories from it. And one time, I was always the driver because I had a car and he didn't.
Yeah.
And one time he was like, let's go. Like, we're going to Target. I need a new phone. And I knew what that meant.
What did that mean?
Well, it meant he was going to steal the phone. He wasn't going to go in there and buy a phone.
Right. Okay. Got it.
I knew that. He didn't have to say those words to me. That was just kind of the deal with him.
Gotcha.
But this time we got followed by the police. And he literally jumped out of my moving car and just like bolted.
Wait.
And-
Back up. You got the phone.
He got the phone. Yeah, sorry, back up. Yeah, he got the phone. He got in my car.
Beep. Okay. You got the phone from Target.
He got the phone from Target. It's a shitty little touchscreen Android.
Okay.
Not worth all of this, but whatever.
And you're you're the getaway driver. You're the wheelman.
I'm the getaway driver.
He hops in the car, and
And-
how do the police know who you are and what's going on?
Someone called the cops. I don't know, probably the security at Target or something. Someone called the cops,
Okay.
and they followed my car. And he sees the sirens and literally jumps out. And
Okay.
I'm fucking panicking, and I just keep driving. And I'm just like ignoring the sirens, and I keep driving
Yeah.
until I get like a block away from my parents' house, well, my dad's house.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, fuck, like, this guy's gonna chase me down, like, all day. Like, we'll just stop eventually. That's just how that goes. This isn't gonna become a high-speed chase over $100 Android, you know.
An
So,
iPhone
like,
maybe, but not an Android.
Exactly. So I park my car, and the cop comes out, and he's like, you know, like, who are you with? Where do they live? Blah, blah, blah. I didn't answer. I just kept saying, am I under arrest? Am I being held? Like, what's going on?
So you knew all the tricks of all the lawyer tricks.
I knew the tricks. My dad taught me well. He raised me well. He said, always ask if you're actually being arrested, and never let a cop into your house.
Right.
Those are like the two things he said to me the most in my childhood. I don't know why, but I respect it, and I'm glad he said those things to me.
Right.
I think it's a good lesson for anyone. But anyway.
Charming.
But the thing is, they already had another car going out there. They already found him. Like, they saw him go into his apartment.
What was his name, by the way?
I don't like saying his name out loud.
All right. Can you give him a fake name for us?
No, just make up one.
All right. Just keep going. It's just helpful for the viewers. I know, because they get the fans of the show get confused easily. So.
All right, we'll just call him this fucking asshole.
All right, this fucking asshole. Yeah.
And you'll know who I'm talking about. So this fucking asshole runs up into his apartment. He lives with his mom. And, I eventually get out of it. I snuck my way out of it. I go home. My dad's like, "What's going on?" I just slammed my door shut. I was such a dramatic kid, so it wasn't like anything unusual for me to. Yeah.
Like you've grown out of that, you think? Or?
Oh my God.
Okay, keep going.
I don't even know who you are, so why are you talking to me like this?
I just
continue. So then
So you slammed your bedroom door. Dad's
slammed
like,
my bedroom
what's going
door.
on?
My dad's like, "What's going on?" But he just kind of, brushes it off, and then the cops show up to the door.
Okay.
And they say a bunch of stuff to my dad, and my dad was like, "My daughter, she would never,
Dad's got your back.
Yeah, and then they leave, and then my dad's just slamming on my door, like, "Mabel, what the fuck did you do this time?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's all true. Like, they're not lying. Like, I got in the car, I drove off, and he ran out, he stole a phone, whatever." Like, I just told my dad, because I was like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, you already know, like, because I was a little shithead.
Was.
And yeah, was.
Right. Okay.
So this fucking asshole's mom calls me.
And had you met her at this point?
I had met her already. She's crazy woman. And she calls me and she says, "Why would you convince my son to steal a phone for you? You already have a phone. What's the matter with you? Like, what's your fucking problem that you would do this?" And it's like, I was just like, my jaw was like on the floor. I didn't even know what to say to her, because I was like she knows, she knows who her fucking son is. And I'm and the whole time in my head, I'm like, she's just saying this, like, because the cops are in her house right now, and she thinks it'll, like, save her for some reason.
Save her
It's
son.
obviously not going to do shit,
Yeah.
This is, and this story takes a turn, because I don't think anyone should be in jail. I don't think anyone should be in jail, especially for something as stupid as stealing a phone.
Yeah.
They both got taken to jail that night.
The kid and the mom.
Yes. It turns out she had a warrant out for her arrest.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So they both went to jail.
Wow.
Now, the fucking asshole got out in like a week.
Okay.
Which was a whole other drama in itself, because when he got out, he was fucking pissed at me, because he convinced himself that it was my fault. He convinced me that it was my fault. He convinced his mom and the cops and everyone he could yell at that it was all my fault.
This guy sounds charming.
Yeah. And his mom was in jail for 3 months. And I still, to this day, don't know why. But the whole fucking time, I was like, I thought it was my fault, like, I was convinced. Like, everyone was telling me it was my fault. I was like, okay, yeah, it's probably my fault that this person is in jail then, right? Because that's what everyone's telling me, and I'm 17 and my brain is made out of gravy and oatmeal,
That little vegan Mackie snacky poo.
Right.
So I was like, she's gonna fucking kill me when she comes back. Like, I was convinced of it. And, these people only lived a few blocks away from me. She knew me. She knew my parents. She knew exactly where I lived. And I was just like, that's it. I'm dead. She's going to kill me.
Right.
I was convinced.
So what happened?
Well, she did come out eventually.
Did she come after you?
Which is a good thing. This is a good thing. This is great.
Right.
She shouldn't have been there in the first place, right?
Yeah. Just really quickly, I'm going to read a comment from the chat.
Okay.
Caleb Richardson says, "Fuck yeah, Mabel. Fuck prisons." Never read Graham Sai says, "I'm too scared to put a Slim Jim in my pants." Damn. Got some fans there.
It was scary. I don't think I should have fans for any of this, but...
No, I think, generally fans are just the worst. But anyway, continue.
Well...
She didn't kill you?
She didn't kill me, obviously, because we're talking right now.
Right.
she did, when I saw her, she did. I was crazy, and I was looking for her son, the fucking asshole. And I was sniffing around their building, and I saw her, and I just froze. Because I was like, oh my God, like, what is she gonna do?
Yeah.
And she walks up to me, and she says, I ought to fucking kill you, but I won't. Don't come around here anymore, though. And I was just like, okay. And I turned around
And that was it.
and I went home.
You said you were sniffing around there looking for the sun?
Yeah.
Because you were trying to rekindle or what?
Well, we didn't break up when he went to jail.
Oh, okay. So you were just looking to hang out. Why were
Something
you...
like that.
Something like that? Okay. All right. I think I pick up what you're putting down.
Yeah.
Okay. And that was the last you saw of her?
I think I saw her a couple times after that. Eventually we did break up. People have told me they've seen her at grocery stores and stuff. But
by the way, do you call it a grocery store?
Did I say grocery?
That's what I heard.
Well, I probably did say that.
Okay.
That sounds grocery.
I don't like
now
that.
I'm not sure. I'm questioning.
I say grocery.
Grosh, like SH grocery.
Yeah, that's how I was raised to say it.
Well, I don't like that.
Okay, well, I'm gonna
Grocery.
hang up on you now. So
that's fine.
Thanks for calling in, and we'll put it to the chat. Is it grocery or grocery? If there's one last call that wants to chime in to respond to that, call me out. Whatever you want to do, I'll give you about 60 seconds. Otherwise, we're gonna close things off with some music. Lines are open now, 862-801-5034. Thank you for the follow, Iggy Pop Raw Power. Yeah, just so you know, you can subscribe with Amazon Prime. I gifted. Okay, where's this hype train? I don't know. We'll see. I did see something about the hype train. Let me look it up. You know, we might need some more people to hit the subscribe button. So just do that. Everyone subscribe, and we'll get the hype train going. One more person needs to sub, gift, or use bits. Okay, that's what it says. So anyone wanting to give sub, gift, or use bits, then we'll make the hype train happen. That's what the alert said. Needs to be back-to-back gifting. Okay, someone's got to give gifts, give bits. Hype train incoming. Here we go. What happens? We got 5 minutes. I'm gonna put some music on, some more hype music, and we'll leave it there. Okay. I'll leave the chat going. Feel free to keep giving bits if you want. Keep subbing. Use your Amazon Prime. I'll give you guys some emotes. Whatever you need.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, we have something special down here at Birdland.
Dozer's in the chat. Let's go.
A recording for Blue Note Records.
What's that?
Jazzy, funky, bounce, bounce, dance as we dip in the melodic sea. Rhythm keeps flowing and drips to MC. Sweet sugar pop, rocks and pop. You don't stop till the sweet beat drops. I shall improve as I stick and move. Vivid poems recited on top of the groove. My, floating like a butterfly, notes set afloat, sung like a lullaby. Brace yourself as the beat hits ya. Dip, trip, flip, fantasia.
What's that?
Bitty bitty bop.
Yeah.
Bitty bitty bop.
Funky, funky.
Feel the beat drop, jazz and hip hop, dripping in your dome, it's a zone and bop. Funk confusion, a fly illusion, keeps you coasting on the rhythm you're cruising. Up, down, round and round, rhymes profound, but nevertheless you got to get down. Fantasy freak through the beat so unique, you move your feet and sweat from the heat. Back to the fact, I'm the Mac and I know that. The way I kick the rhyme, someone call me a poet. Poem steady flowing, growing, showing sights and sound. Caught in the groove, invitation I'm found. Many tripped and tore upon the rhymes they soared to an infinite height, to the realm of the hardcore. Here we go, off I take ya. Dip, trip, lip, fantasia.
What's that?
Bitty bitty bop.
Yeah.
Bitty bitty bop.
Funky, funky. What's that?
Bitty bitty bop.
Yeah.
Bitty bitty bop.
Funky, funky.
Jump to the jam, boogie woogie jam slam. Bust the dialect, I'm the man in command. Come flow with the sounds of the mighty mic master. Rhyming on the mic, I'm bringing suckers to disaster. Buku ducks, but I still rock Nike. With the razzle dazzle, a star I might be. Scribble, jabble, scrabble on the microphone, I babble as I fix the funky words into a puzzle. Yes, 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 on and on as I flex. Get with the flow, birds manifest. Feel the vibe from here to Asia. Dip, trip, flip, fantasia. Ow, you don't stop. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Give me more of that funky horn.
What's that? Yeah. Funky, funky.
Bitty bitty bop. Bitty bitty bop.
Funky, funky.
Yeah, baby.
What your hood like? Is it rough? Is it tough? Is it tough? Is it rough? What your hood like? Is it rough? Is it tough?
Yeah, baby.
Is it tough? What your hood like? Is it rough? Is it tough? Is it tough? Is it rough? What your hood like? Is it rough? Is it tough? Is it tough? What your hood like? Is it rough? Is it tough? Is it tough? Is it rough? What your hood like? Is it rough? Is it tough? Is it tough? What your hood like? Is it rough? Is it tough? Is it tough?
Alright, I'm gonna get some rainbow sherbet, put it in a cone, and I'll meet you guys. Anyone who has access to the ski lodge, meet you there in 5 minutes.
Is it rough? What your hood like? Is it rough? Is it tough? Is it tough? What your hood